I'm not saying that TikTok is a good thing. I don't think it is. I believe that the type of content creation and consumption that exists on that particular platform is very, very parasitic and has all of the same toxicity problems that exist with something like Twitter. Guys, there's a lot of talk about TikTok getting banned. And it's important that we talk about it because the talks about TikTok getting banned don't really stop with TikTok. And I know that that's going to be hard for a lot of people to swallow, but there's a lot to get into. This is going to be a relatively information-dense episode, so please prepare your buttholes for that. But before we get into that, let's get into the fan art section. The first one here is from Raging Horse Girl. Said, eyes, hair, and outfit in this are all interchangeable. I'm only doing the normal and beach outfits right now. Aww. It's like a create your own Suris, but it's pit crew. That's adorable. The next one we have here is from Sky Lily, and it says, just doing some fun, simple, artsy stuff. Gotcha, gotcha. Thank you very much for that one, Sky Lily. As always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. Past that, let's go ahead and get into the content. Except, I don't want to get into the content. I don't want to talk about TikTok today. So, sorry guys, that's the end of the stream. Goodbye. Okay, I guess I do have to actually talk about the content. So... Blizzy, do I have to? Okay, fine. Fine. We'll go ahead and talk about everything. Let's go ahead and get into this. So there's a bill to ban TikTok that's been put around. And it's a little bit kind of super terrifying. It gives the government the ability to go after anybody that they deem as a national security risk, to the point where they can get access to everything on your computer and your video games, to even your fucking ring light. This information comes from Greg Price over on Twitter. But let's go ahead and take a look at the stuff that we've got to look at here. So, he's got some stuff highlighted for us to go over. Right here, in general, the secretary and consultant with relevant executive department and agency heads is authorized to and shall take action to identify, deter, disrupt, prevent, prohibit, investigate, and otherwise mitigate, including by negotiating, entering into, or imposing and enforcing any mitigation measure to address any risk arising from any covered transaction by any person or with respect to any property subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. The secretary determines... Oh, it cuts off there. This includes desktop applications, mobile applications, gaming applications, payment applications, web-based applications, and anything with information or communications technology. It's an attempt to try to put forward a ban on TikTok that extends to literally everything on the internet. If you didn't like the Patriot Act, this is that, but on steroids. This also includes software, hardware, or any other product or service integral to telecommunications products and service, including wireless local area networks, mobile networks, satellite payloads, satellite operation and control, cable access points, wireline access points, core networking, long, short, or backhaul networks, and edge computer platforms. Everything. Literally everything. Oh, don't worry! Even quantum computing. Even quantum computing is tackled here. Synthetic biology, biotechnology, computational biology, literally everything that could possibly come now or in the future is going to all be tracked and monitored. They got everyone, every single thing. If you're found in violation, they can put you in jail for 20 years, fine you for up to $1 million, seize your property. Let's go ahead and look at some of that stuff right now. Civil penalties. The secretary may impose the following civil penalties on a person for each violation that person of this act may, or any regulation, order, direction, mitigation. Isn't legalese fun to read? Isn't it just such a bullshit fucking language? A fine of not more than $250,000 or an amount that is twice the value of the transaction that is the basis of the violation with respect to which the penalty is imposed, whichever is greater, revocation of any mitigation, measure, or authorization issued under this act to person. A person who willfully commits, willfully attempts to commit, or willfully conspires to commit, or aids or abets in the commission of an unlawful act described in subsection A, shall, upon conviction, be fined not more than $1 million, or if a natural person may be imprisoned for not more than 20 years, or both. Isn't that fun? Isn't that just a fun thing to deal with? On what's supposed to just be a ban on TikTok? Isn't all of this just 110% exactly what you would have expected in that? In general, any property, real or personal, tangible or intangible, used or intended to be used in any manner to commit or facilitate a violation, an attempted violation described in paragraph 1, shall be subjected to forfeiture to the United States. So they could just take your shit. You know, fun stuff. The best stuff. Just... If the bill was just about banning TikTok, then we would have a single page that would just say that TikTok cannot operate in digital or in physical form within the borders of the United States or on United States cellular or mobile or desktop devices. That's what we would get. That's what we would get. Instead, what we are getting is a bill that is going to try to enact what the Patriot Act did beforehand when it came to tapping into phone lines. Basically make it to where every single person in the United States, even though we are already all monitored by the US government, they want to expand the ability to monitor every single person and invade your personal privacy. But they're doing it under the pretense of TikTok is a threat because China, so ban TikTok. I'm not saying that TikTok is a good thing. I don't think it is. I believe that the type of content creation and consumption that exists on that particular platform is very, very parasitic and has all of the same toxicity problems that exist with something like Twitter. I still create stuff for YouTube Shorts that is that type of content because that's the nature of the beast. You may not like the thing, but you still have to participate with the thing to exist within that frame as a content creator. But despite that, I think that if we wanted to actually get rid of that platform, the best way to do it would be to just, make a bill that did that. This is not that. This is not that at all. Now, we should maybe talk about the people who actually did this. The people who introduced this bill. This bill was introduced by Senator Mark Warner from Virginia. We are going to take a very quick look at him, who he is. Mark Warner is an American and businessman and politician serving as United States Senator from Virginia, a seat that he's held since 2009. He's a member of the Democratic Party. Warner served as the 69th governor of Virginia. Hey, this is why we say that even Democrats can be bad. From 2002 to 2006, he is the vice chair of the Senate Democratic Caucus and the chair to Senate Intelligence Committee. I wonder if we'll find in here anything about... Wow! The Wikipedia article doesn't have anything about the TikTok ban. There's nothing in here about TikTok. That's interesting, despite him being the one that introduces the bill itself. So, let's go ahead and take a look here. Only days after TikTok CEO endured a bipartisan flogging on Capitol Hill, a Senate bill meant to rein in the company, released with much bipartisan fanfare and a bevy of endorsements earlier this month, is starting to look shakier. The bill, known as the Restrict Act, would give the Commerce Department of the White House sweeping new powers to ban or restrict a wide range of communications and technology products that are coming from China. The bill would deprive TikTok of a crucial legal defense that it has used to defeat the Trump administration's attempted ban in 2020 and is considered key to any meaningful effort by the Biden administration to ban the Chinese-owned app. Until this week, the legislation appeared to be sailing ahead. Its chief sponsors, Senator Mark Warner and John Thune, had convinced more than 20 of their colleagues to sign onto the bill. And with the White House already on board and talks of the White House leadership allegedly underway, a quick trip to the president's desk wasn't out of of the question. But key senators are now suggesting they're ambivalent about restrict. A right-wing backlash on the legislation is building, and top Republicans in the House are claiming the Senate bill goes too easy on TikTok and are spreading misinformation about it in the process. Wait, so a bill that is going to literally restrict freedom... Wow, that was a weird burp. That was not supposed to come out that way. A bill that's literally going to restrict the freedoms and privacy of all Americans doesn't go hard enough because it's specifically not going hard enough on TikTok. But not a lot of word about the, the stuff it's doing to people. Stuff it's doing to, actual fucking people. Okay, sure, why not? When they questioned the TikTok guy, it's like the Red Scare. Speaking with reporters Wednesday, Thune said he expected the Restrict Act could move very quickly as long as it gets a prompt markup. If we can get a markup in the Senate Commerce Committee, I think we can probably get it across the floor on the Senate. But Senate Commerce Chair Maria Cantwell, who has yet to officially endorse the bill, appears to be in no hurry. And after telling reports earlier this month that she thought the Restrict Act was a good idea, on Thursday she appeared to backpedal slightly. She said, "I think it's a start." What? A start? This is a bill that largely restricts a lot of fucking freedoms, not just one set of them. A start to what? A start to what exactly? Let's see. I said it's a start. The senator said she didn't know yet if the breadth of the bill's restrictions on Chinese and other foreign texts were cause for concern and that her attention is now focused on other topics. My primary concern is we need a data privacy bill. I actually agree. We should be able to keep our data private. It's really annoying that when you talk about something with your friends, you happen to get advertisements for it on YouTube and on Google and on Amazon. You get advertisements for the shit that you talk about in private with your friends. We should not live in a world where our phones listen to us in that way in order to advertise to us. We shouldn't live in a world where everything we browse on the internet is used to serve us predatory and specified advertisements to things. I know that we have a lot of funny haha jokes when people say, like, why am I being advertised all of this trans porn? And we have to point out to people that it's based on your search history. That's what cookies are used to determine what you're going to be shown in advertisements, and then it kind of outs people. It's very funny when we do that, but we shouldn't accept living in that world. Just saying. While conservatives are generally the loudest supporters of a TikTok ban, this week saw significant backlash to Restrict Act from right-of-center circles. The furor soon reached Fox News. On Wednesday, host Jesse Waters called Restrict garbage and suggested it could curtail personal freedoms. Yeah, because the bill does more than ban TikTok. It hits everything. It's just Patriot Act 2 Electric Boogaloo. Even Tucker Carlson did a... wow, my tongue is lacking out a lot right now because of the way that I've got my camera centered. That's weird. But seriously, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have made the laundry porn saga. Yeah, and you guys don't need to know what I look up on Dojins. Walters demands an explanation from Senator Lindsey Graham, a sponsor of Restrict. Man, if I ever wanted to know that a bill was bullshit, this is about where I would look. Just saying. Just right here. Who had joined in the program, but Graham said he was unaware that he had signed on to the bill and suggested that if it was as bad as Waters says, he may need to retool. The big problem is China, Graham said, but the solution can be more damaging than the problem. That's sort of what you're telling me. On Thursday, Graham spokesperson Kevin Bishop told Politico that the senator still supports Restrict. Of course he does. Warner also had to defend the bill this week from accusations that it would undermine free speech and expand governmental surveillance. Literally, that's what it does. Literally, that's what it does. While he has repeatedly suggested he's talking with House GOP leadership on Restrict, a companion bill has yet to emerge in the lower chamber. But other bills targeting TikTok are percolating on the House. That includes the Data Act, a bill from the House Foreign Affairs Committee Chair Michael Bacall that was marked up earlier this month, and the Anti-Social CCP Act, legislation backed by the Select Committee on China Chair Mike Gallagher. And both of those Republicans claim the Restrict Act is weak tea. The Warner-Thune bill just doesn't have a lot of teeth to it, and it keeps the algorithms in Beijing. He complained that the bill doesn't actually ban TikTok. Strangely, both lawmakers also suggested TikTok supports passage. Both lawmakers also suggested that TikTok supports passage of Restrict. The joke is that TikTok endorsed the bill, McCall said last week. TikTok has endorsed the Restrict Act, suggesting that it should be a sign that it's not the preferred approach. I would like some evidence of that. I don't know if that's necessarily true. When asked on Thursday about the claim that the company has endorsed the Senate bill, TikTok spokesperson replied with raffle, sobbing, and straight-faced emojis and said totally false. Yeah, again, I would like some type of evidence of that. Like, just saying that TikTok, the entity, in whatever form supports the bill does not mean a lot. But no, it's very telling to me that for you to get something that is bipartisan, technically speaking, you have to create something that is going to restrict the rights of many Americans. This is why Congress needs a term and age limit. Yeah, I agree. I agree. There was even a point where Tucker Carlson, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. There's a point where even Tucker Carlson was saying the most reasonable things on the Restrict Act. Let me see if this is it.
So earlier this week, Fox News host Tucker Carlson had a take that was very... Watch.
So one of the bills that would ban TikTok is being pushed, as we said, by senators in both parties. It's called the Restrict Act. Mark Warner of Virginia and John Thune of South Dakota, Democrat and Republican, introduced this legislation. Now, the bill is ostensibly about protecting American national security and ending, quote, foreign adversaries from interfering in our elections through apps like TikTok. Because, of course, election interference by Twitter and Facebook is no problem at all. But election interference from TikTok is totally unacceptable. Okay,
so I'm going to have to give my first bit of pushback there. Because, of course, whenever Tucker Carlson says something, he is always going to come with some level of, hey, buddy, you're saying stupid shit. When you're talking about election interference, we're talking about the guy, Tucker Carlson, who literally said that the election interference scandal conversations they were having on Fox News, the public ones, were bullshit. This is what the Dominion lawsuit was about. But okay.
But in reality, and you should know this if you're opposed to TikTok, as we are, this bill isn't really about banning TikTok. It's never about what they say it is. Instead, this bill would give enormous and terrifying new powers to the federal government to punish American citizens and regulate how they communicate with one another.
Again, when Tucker Carlson is the one saying the reasonable thing in the room, you've probably fucked up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel as though, again, I posted the entire link to the text for anybody who wants to go over it, but I feel like when you're writing a bill that goes into all the ways you can punish a United States citizen for ways they're communicating over the internet, said, please no more, I can't stand his patronizing voice. Yup. Like, look, hold on. To authorize the Secretary of Commerce to review and prohibit certain transactions between persons in the United States and foreign adversaries and for other purposes. That doesn't ban TikTok. That doesn't ban TikTok at all. This act may be cited as the restricting of the emergence of security and threats that risk information and communications technology act, or the Restrict Act. The term classified national security information means information that has been determined pursuant to Executive Order 13526. The term controlling whole... Okay, this is just defining terms and stuff. None of that's super important going forward. Again, legalese is a fun language to read. It really is. It really is. Covered entities, any foreign adversary. So that would be, in this case, China. An entity subject to the jurisdiction of or organized under the laws of a foreign adversary. So this would be the way that they're trying to say that this is about TikTok, right there. Any entity owned, directed, or controlled by a person described in subparagraph A or B. And again, this is another way of guaranteeing that TikTok would be covered under here, because The type of economic system that China has is what's known as state capitalism. They have individual entities that all have to serve the state, ostensibly, or serve the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party. They have to serve that entity expressly. This would not actually just get rid of TikTok, mind you. If you're a fan of League of Legends, this would also restrict Tencent. Like, by the language of this bill, Tencent would also be hit. Now, granted, I don't think that that would be necessarily a bad thing. I would be perfectly A-okay with Tencent not having any sway in the gaming industry at all. So Tencent owns a lot more than law. Oh, I know. Tencent owns a lot more than League of Legends, but that's the thing that they own that I play. Let's see what else Tencent owns, actually. What else do they own here? PUBG, Arena of Valor, League of Legends, Honor of Kings, PUBG Mobile, Honor of Kings World, Ring of Elysium. Let's see here. ArcAge, Crossfire, Chess Rush, Metal Slug Awakening, Denkai Bunko, Call of Duty Online. Yeah, they got their fingers in a lot of pies. They had their fingers in many, many pies. And, you know, again, as much as I would be perfectly A-okay with us not having Tencent controlling any of the gaming industry anymore here in the States, I don't think that, or even getting rid of TikTok, should come at the expense of Americans' privacy. The Patriot Act, when that was enacted, was basically the end to United States citizens as private individuals in terms of how safe we could be with our own data. And it's already very easy for the government to subpoena Apple or Google or whoever happens to own the data they're looking for to get access to data legally anyway. This just lets them avoid that. You don't need to engage in the entire legal process when you can just monitor everything everybody says and then have giant legal fines for them whenever they do something wrong. Let's see, your foreign adversaries. This would include the People's Republic of China, the Republic of Cuba, Islamic Republic of Iran, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the Russian Federation, and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela under the regime of Nicolas Maduro Moro. The term holding would mean equity interest, stock, security, share, partnership investment, an interest in a limited liability company, membership or interest, or any participation, right, or other equivalent, or however. Basically, any type of company, anything that a foreign entity funds, anything. So, again, Tencent, TikTok, and anybody that engages with those people, companies, or entities. I know I'm typing now. Gotta head to work anyway. Super typos. Said VPNs, speakeasies. I don't think a VPN would save you here. VPNs are not full wholesale protection in these situations. They're just not. They are just not. And there's language in here that makes me feel weird, like anybody who poses an undue or unacceptable risk of sabotage, subversion of the design, integrity, manufacturing, production, distribution, installation, operation, maintenance, or maintenance of information and communication technology products and services in the United States. Guys, I don't know if you understand, but like we've got a lot of technology here in the States that is imported from China or exported from China to us. This takes control of everything. Functionally, that's what this does. That's what this does. That's scary. Then we'll make digital speakeasies full net protection even for the weird stuff, I guess. So people will still sideload shit, I promise. Well, yeah. The modding community has always been in favor of sideloading shit. Many businesses use VPNs for their networks to work, especially when accessing a remote site or work from home. Yup. Yup. I do also find it funny that this bill is taking control of quantum computing as well. Like, literally, just everything. Anything they can possibly think of is being covered here. In a world where we should be getting rid of the Patriot Act, where as information technology increases and people's personal privacy is harder and harder to maintain, I still find it hilarious that governmental bodies will still try to gain more information or gain more access to people's private information. The United States literally said, "How dare China spy on our citizens?" That's our job. So, in a world where TikTok gets banned alone, the world keeps on spinning as normal. We lost Vine already, and we've got access to Instagram Reels. We've got access to YouTube Shorts. We have access to other TikTok alternatives for that type of short-form content if you desperately need that. But the bill's not just doing that. It's doing everything. And that's not great. But, so I feel like this is proof almost nobody in the government understands the internet. Yeah. This bill does more than any bill we've seen in a long time. Again, just please go read the actual text of the bill. We've got people who are listed as foreign adversaries here. We've already covered. I don't know what else I can add to this. Said it's not a big truck, it's a series of tubes. You know, the bill covers literally every type of hardware technology that we have. Modems, PCs, just everything. It's such a fucking sweeping bill. And we can't even use VPNs to bypass, because then that just becomes an illegal activity. Welcome to your 20 years of imprisonment or, $280,000 fine for using a VPN to access TikTok. You're a threat to national security. Ooh. I wish I could say more about this, but I'm just tired. I'm tired. So it covers baby monitors too, I suppose. I don't know. Are they manufactured in China? More likely than you think. So to what end is the scary unknown? I mean, the end has always been clear. Make sure that the proletariat is kept under the thumb of the government of the region. That's always been pretty clear. So the government trying to ban TikTok again? I mean, the way that they're trying to ban TikTok is Patriot Act 2 Electric Boogaloo, if that counts. But, anywho, that's all I have to say on that. Aren't restricting human rights and freedoms fun? As always, everybody, insert end of video tagline here.